Hey guys, welcome back to Ultimate SNS. I hope you've been having a great week. So today we're going to be discussing some interesting things and why you need to be prepping, why you need to be getting food back. Maybe you need to be getting some fuel set back as well. Understand solar and wind, that's going to take you so far, but it is always nice to have that backup, whether it's propane, gasoline or diesel. You need to make sure that you got something back, which is getting harder with the prices being the way they are, the availability going down. And now they're talking diesel shortages and stuff. I think it's important that we realize a few things. Let's rewind a few years back to when Donald Trump first took office. He mentioned some things that really stood out to me. One, the number one thing was that our military surplus of ammunitions and equipment was dangerously low, and if there was a World War scenario or we were attacked by a foreign power, he wasn't sure that we'd be able to successfully wage a successful counterattack or a defense in that matter. So he really increased the military budget to get those equipments and munitions that we needed there. That's great. Something else he did, he started to see the need that was in the elderly community that are drawing Social Security, our senior citizens. And he says, you know what, we're going to schedule some increases. So the increases start coming in, and there's going to be another increase next year, guys. You need to understand Biden's taking, oh, yeah, here's what I'm going to do for people. That was already set up before Trump left office. This is not because of Biden. This is because of Donald Trump. So why are you going to get that Social Security increase? Remember that when it comes time to vote for president. It's not Biden. He likes to take credit for things that he didn't do. But what did Biden do? Well, he pulls out of Afghanistan, leaves over 200,000 pieces of military equipment. We're talking from sidearms to fully automatic rifles, tanks, and things like that. Just leaves them, just hauls. All right, so did that help us at all? No, actually, it hurt us. It actually really cut back on some of that surplus that Donald Trump had built. And something else you need to be aware of when it comes to gas prices and stuff like that, that's through the roof. Biden likes to say, when he took office, it was $5 a gallon. It's not right. The national average was around $2.30. In fact, it was actually just right at $2 in the area where I live at. So what do we see now? $3-4 is the national average. $5 in most of your bigger cities, guys. That's Biden. That's what he's done for you. That's what the Democrats have done for you. Something else that we're seeing also is the Ukraine. I understand wanting to try to provide some safety for people to protect them and things like that. But when it comes right down to it, you need to understand what's really happening over there. This is what I believe is really happening over there. If you remember back to the Biden laptop, the Hunter Biden laptop from hell, as they called it on Fox News, you need to understand a few things about this. So we understand by reading the emails and stuff that's in there that Joe Biden gets 10% of all the money that's sent over to Ukraine for any kind of aid that's sent over there. So when they're sending billions of dollars over to Ukraine, even now, Joe Biden's getting 10% of that. That's interesting. Something else you need to be aware of is that the quickest way to cripple this nation is not just by crippling its fuel source. Biden did that, and not just by crippling the senior citizen population down to where they can't afford stuff because of the increases that Donald Trump had did for Social Security is to go up on the national interest rate. And that's what we're watching Democrats continually do. They keep going up on that interest rate. But not only are they going up on the interest rate, they're making sure that they cripple the nation so that the food prices are going through the roof as well. And the availability is going down. So there may be food out in warehouses and stuff like that right now. But understand it's going to take a little bit to get it to the store where you're going to get it because a lot of people go, well, we'll just use rail cars. Diesel prices, they're saying there's going to be a diesel shortage. We'll just use rail cars. Well, it takes a truck to get it from the rail yard to the dock of a store. It's not something that just magically waves a wand and poof, there it is on the dock. No, you have to have the trucking industry going, and you have to make sure that it's viable as far as fuel because they're not going to go in debt to move a load any more than you would go to work and work off the clock for free. That's the way it works. And they should not have to pay for money out of their own pocket to get food to your house. That's just not the way the industry works, guys. It is a job, it is a career. But what we're seeing is the systematic destruction of this country, and I think it's important that people realize what's going on. Today is the day you're supposed to be going out and doing your voting. And guys, again, it's November 8th. So if you've not voted in the midterms, you need to make sure that you're finding where you need to vote at and get those votes in because it's important. We need you out there. We need you voting these corrupt politicians out of office. So I know we're going to back things up to Ukraine. I know a lot of people are like, well, no. We're trying to do, aid over there and help the people out and stuff like that. But you need to understand a few things over here. The Ukraine has historically been, since the fall of the Soviet Union, has been the number one country in the world for corruption. Do you really think that has changed because Zelensky's in office? I don't know anything about the guy. I know he used to be an actor, a voice actor on a cartoon that had his character that he voiced for as a president of the Ukraine. But now he's now fit to be the president. That's interesting. But something you need to understand too is, do you really believe that just because he is in office, that corruption is now ended? Did it end when Donald Trump was in office? No, it did not. You still had Nancy Pelosi and the rest of the GOM squad. I know they call them the four horsemen, the four ladies up there was AOC and Omar and Tlaib and whoever the other girl is. But you need to understand that corruption still exists. It still exists in Ukraine. In fact, Biden's really making a lot of money off this corruption, sending those billions of dollars, getting his 10% in. So what can you do to prepare your family for what's coming next? Well, you need to understand a few things. This is not going to just go away. This is not just going to end. This is going to be a situation that's going to go full blown. It's already happening across the world. We're seeing where North Korea has really kind of gotten ballsy here lately, and they're not launching one or two test missiles. They're doing simulated war runs where they're launching multiple ICBMs down towards South Korea, over to Japan, and talking about launching toward New York and things like that. You need to understand what's happening there. If you remember back, during the presidential debates, Biden was saying, oh no, they're at least 15, 20 years out from even having ICBM that could reach the American coastline, or even Japan for that matter. But also doubling down, saying, oh, they're not nuclear either. Well, understand they're doing nuclear tests, so they are nuclear, and they have ICBMs that shoot over Japan at this point. And they're saying that the range of these things, the specialists that are examining some of this equipment that they're getting, they said that they would reach New York. That should be a wake-up call that they're lying to you. But people keep voting Democrat. Why? Why do you keep voting? Because you have somebody up there who is tired of the route that this country is going, and he speaks in a bold way, but you don't like it because it reminds you too much of your parents who would tell you no. That's what it is. This is a generation of people that does not like to hear no. This is the generation of people who were coddled as kids and allowed to do whatever they wanted to do because their parents are more worried about being a friend than an actual parent and directing their children along the right path. That's what we're seeing happening in this country. That's what we're seeing taking over this country. So get out and vote. Make sure your vote counts. Everyone have a wonderful day.